Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to get working on the motorhome. We've got a few things to do, so let's get right to it. So what I first want to do is run through all of these cubbies underneath. I know we've got some stuff in there. One of these cubbies is an airbag for the front passenger side airbag. It has a leak in it now, and I want to go ahead and replace that. Hopefully we can do that in this video, depending on what I find under there. I have not yet done anything smart like put penetrant on any of the hardware, so we'll see how that goes. Anyways, if you haven't watched the rest of this, I'll put a playlist up here, but this is a 1999 Georgie Boy Cruise Master, model 3610, I believe, with the 5.9 Cummins diesel pusher in the rear. There's a Onan 5 kilowatt generator up front, big super slide on the other side, which we have not yet opened up. And the inside looks like it needs some help. Anyways, let's quick run through these outside cubbies, take a look what we've got going on, and see if we can't find that. Airbag. Well, if you can see in the driver's door here, it looks rather dirty. The rest of the camper kind of looks a lot like that. One nice thing is we've got our new brake pedal assembly in here. It still holds there. Nice. And get the keys out. It still kind of smells in there. Anyways. Down here is our first cubby. This should be our what's in here? Electrical stuff is. Yeah, let's let me show you that because that's kind of interesting. So, yeah, look at all the acorns and nuts, and I don't know what these go to. Turn signal flasher. Okay, neat. Here's a big something. I don't know what it does. I don't know where it goes. We have more wiring, a rather scary looking fuse panel, bunch of relays back here, more relays up here, breakers for the leveling system, which doesn't work. There's a light under here, which I don't know if it works because there's no power on the bus right now. Random stuff, what does that do? I don't know. I'm guessing that's engine stuff, check engine, I don't know what any of that does. Because there's no manuals, but this is going to be fun to figure out what everything in here does. I'm probably going to have to employ my buddy Mike to help me. He's a lot better at wiring stuff and a lot more better at troubleshooting and tracing stuff than I am, because I'm kind of a bull in a china shop. Anyways, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cubbies down this side, so let's just take a look what's behind door number 1. Alrighty, everyone's down here on ground level. What's in here? Well, we have 2 broken struts. That's wonderful. I mean, they're in here, but they're not hooked up to anything. Those are empty. Got the crank out for the slide. There's a light under here, so this, other than being just dirty, looks not too bad. There should be a light in here. I don't know if any of these work. Let's see what's in here. Storage, more acorns. We have a rather large stick for something. This looks like insulated hose for Cold weather, more lights. Again, nothing terribly useful in here. We only have one strut here, and that seems to be dead. Next, what's over here? Hey, that has a working strut. Come over here. This has one working strut. Looks like we're getting into the plumbing stuff. They look like some pretty beefy hold downs for the awning. At least one. It's the other strut. Wonder if you work or you just... Okay, well, you're kind of there, but not really. So that's neat. More random stuff. I don't know what it does. Maybe you're a prop. Nope. Hold the door open. Who knows? Let's go to the next one over here, which looks like more plumbing. Huh. One strut. It doesn't work. All the plumbing stuff. I looked at this stuff. It's going to be 2 years ago now. And I see tank sensors. Those wires don't look to be eaten up. That's promising. Everything looks to be closed off. Hopefully there's nothing surprising in anywhere. Blow point drains. Nothing in there. Nothing in there either. So I guess that's a good thing. I don't know. A little water in there. Antifreeze. Does have an outdoor shower. Potable water input. See, now some of this stuff looks factory-ish and some of it looks like it was redone at some point. So I don't know what to say. I mean, I've got spigots or holes where these pipes should have come through, and it looks like it's screwed to the back wall. So I honestly don't know what to think. Yeah, waste for black and gray. Those don't seem to be broken. That's probably a good thing. Maybe we'll look to testing that next year. So here's the damage from when the wheels fell off last year. This got broken. There's a little broken chunk over here I still have. Not too bad considering what it could have been, but I can take this off and repair the fiberglass. Studs need to be about an inch longer to hold the beauty cover on, but again, minor. Let's go over here. In here, it's our power service. We've got a breaker over here with our microwave, air conditioners. This looks like a square D box. Bring you over here a little bit more. Like I said, just a square D box over here. Down here looks like the inverter. There's a bunch of 12-volt fuses back there. We've got a bunch of likely 10-year-old oil. We've got a 50-amp service here. There's another plug here. I don't know what that's for. Again, have to trace that out. We've got phone and cable TV up here at the very top. And more lights. We have some, oh, look at this. What is this? Is this the crank out for my slide out? Oh, it is. You know what we're gonna do in a minute. Yep, that's the crank out for the slide out. I didn't know I had that in here. I had to go buy a shorter one. Didn't work. All right. Next cubby. All right, what's back here? More stuff. More oil. Windshield wipers for wipers that aren't on the car. Diesel treatment. Grease. Hey. This is nice. That's coming with me. Air fittings, starting fluid, CB antenna, bearings, I guess this is a triangle set. Yep. Where was that when the wheels fell off last year? Probably there. All right, on the passenger side, we have a pile of fluids. I know I've been in here before because we already put a new fuel filter in here, and we kind of use this to bring home our pile of fluids for the trip home. The power steering fluid, oil, was some transmission fluid. So this will get cleaned out, probably be just a fluid reservoir. Same for on the other side. And back here, behind here, looks like the ECU and all the computer stuff for the vehicle, so that's nice. Easy to get to behind this access panel. Let's move on. Over here, we've got a water heater over here. Let's see. We've got a water heater here. That is, well, it's got a plug in it, but it's got a screw drain on it, so that's nice. Electronic ignition. Probably needs a good blowing out from critters and acorns. Again, that's a project for next year. Still haven't found that airbag yet. What's under here? Oh, look at that. It's a giant boom boom type thing. Our LP tank, I do know this has LP in it. I think it's about, 30% full. And I don't know that I can get this refilled anywhere. I'll try, but I do know there's LP in here because we were able to get the stove lit or the refrigerator on LP, one of those two, when I first looked at the camper a couple years ago. So this did have LP in it. Next cubby, what do we got? All sorts of stuff. We have damp rid and a milk gallon container, a lot more acorns, miscellaneous trash, looks like. White Castle container, so we had good taste. Water tank is back here, again with level sensors, plumbing for the water. I see those are all open. Like I said, from what I understood, last time this was used, it was winterized and put away, so I would expect that the plumbing and stuff is good in here. That's my hope, my expectation, but we'll see. More mice stuff. Thought I got all that out last year. Anyways, let's check out the next cubby, and maybe our airbag is in here, or else it's missing. Oh, there it is. Lots more stuff in here. We've got our airbag up here. One working strut because the other one is broken off. But here is our airbag. I knew it was here somewhere. There were two of these purchased per what was on the receipt. I think the other one has already been put on the driver's side, so we've got just the passenger side. But also in here, we've got a LP regulator, looks like, or an air regulator with a dryer for some reason. More oil, more fluids, ropes, more stuff to clean out. I will do that off camera because no one wants to see that, I don't believe. More jack handles, it looks like. Okay. Now, the one thing I have not posted about that I did do is I took out the awning, the overhead awning, and the awning over the front door. Those both, amazingly, are in really great shape. I'll try and drop a photo in here. I'm not going to take them out again now. But they looked almost brand new. And if you have ever put these on your vehicle before, your RV, they're a pain in the butt to do, especially this has got to be a 20-foot long, 20-foot awning. And they're not terribly cheap, especially to get nicer ones. Now this one is the multicolor one that matches the rig, so that's awesome. The one on the other side on the slide out is not in as good of a shape. But hey, since we found that crank, let me go inside quick and see if there's anything blocking the slide out from moving out. We'll try and crank that out. Hold on. All right, I don't see anything inside there to obstruct us, so let's go ahead and give this thing a try. Like I said, I bought a 18-inch one off of Amazon just to see if this thing moved. And it did, but it only go out about 6 inches before the crank hit its extent limit, and I couldn't move it any farther. But now that we've got the Crankmaster 5000, let's try it out. Well, that's pretty frustrating. Let me grab my shorter one. Let's see if I can get that started. Okay. I think if I move it out far enough, I can at least take this one out and put the longer one in. But let me go inside and see why it's binding. I think it's just stiff. Nothing fell out, so that's impressive, I guess. All right, let's see if I can get the larger one in here now. So I think I can actually see. Yes, I can. Much easier. Now, let's crank it out. God, I hope it doesn't fall out on me. That would really suck. Ow, that poked me. That smarts. All right, that's the extent of the outage, I think. Let's see. Yeah, I think so. Okay, well, neat. I have not done this before, so that's a first for us both. And you may ask why I did it with the crank versus just pushing a button. That's because I've never done this before. And if there was something binding up or mechanically stuck, I didn't want to force the motors, but now that we know the drive system is free, I can put some lubrication on the rails below and the teeth, and then we can probably find a battery. I don't have any here, any house batteries, they're all dead. But try and get power in the house and see if we can make this come in and out on its own. But for now, as long as we did this, let's take a quick detour inside, which I don't think you've seen since last year. Okay. Okay, we've got it open. It really opens it up in here. That's pretty nice. You can't see much, I can't see much. But basically, it's about an 18-inch slide on the driver's side. And yeah, this is, floor is solid. I think. Yeah, I think when they recarpeted it, they may not have. No, maybe they did. It's just nice. Oh, that's Huh. Flashlight. This down here is a little crunchy. So that may be fun. Maybe not, but otherwise, got a flashlight. Everything else in here really opens it up a little bit. So that's pretty awesome. I did check before. These lights up here along the ceiling do work. They're 12 volt LED or 12 volt rope lights. Those work mostly. Again, here's our big issue of concern. This bulkhead to get torn down and rebuilt. Yeah, that's joyous. Everything else back here looks pretty good though. A little bit of trim was taken down to run power to the back for a TV. Yeah, power for a TV back here. I digress. But yeah, okay. We're looking okay. Well, we're looking better, I guess, especially with the slide out. And that really opens up the space quite a lot. So anyways, let me go back outside, look at our task at hand for that airbag. Alrighty, we're back. It's been a few days, and last we left off, I was going to work on replacing that front passenger side airbag on the RV here, and it's actually not leaking. It was. I don't know if there was a stuck ride height valve for it, a sensor that was dumping the air out of it. It may be that the brake valve we replaced, that had a small leak in it, and it was hissing out air. You could just hear it coming from underneath the vehicle. I thought it was coming from the driver's side or the passenger side, but I aired everything up, listened, I heard not a peep. So unless because we're sitting on level ground again, whatever was there is not leaking. It's not leaking now, so we're gonna go on to something else. Now, we got the slide out, manually cranked out. What I want to do is take a battery. I borrowed one from another project around here that may remain nameless, but is gray in color right now. I'm going to drop this in the front of the bus and see if we can't get the lights on in there under 12 volt. The slide-in will not operate under shore power on the inverter. Guessing amperage draw is too great for that, or there's some magical switch that I don't know where it is. Those are the two options that I've come to accept. The other thing I want to do is try and get the generator started. Now, when I first looked at this thing a couple years ago, the generator would crank over and not start. It would start if we sprayed some starter fluid in it, but we don't want to do that for too long. So we do know that the unit runs, but is it a low oil issue? Is it a fuel or LP delivery issue? What is the error we're dealing with there? I have a feeling it's going to be an LP delivery issue and may need a friend to help troubleshoot it, because the rat's nest of wires underneath the driver's seat is pretty heavy. So we're going to go ahead, try and see which of these two we can make any progress on, if any, and then wrap it up. And that kind of gives me a direction of where to go with the many different things to fix. So let's go ahead and get a battery put in here and see what happens. Well, we are up here. I've got a battery. Minor problem is it has standard automotive terminals and no screw terminals. So we're gonna use our good friends, these things, and see what we can't make a mess of. Because why? I don't feel like going and spending money on a battery today, and it's raining, so I really don't want to go anywhere. There's a cable. We have our big main frame ground over here. That's good. But where's our main positive? There's some things wired up with extension cord, hose, cable, wire. I don't know where it goes to. Up. You know, that's probably for the CB radio that's directly wired without a fuse. So that's great. The other 3 batteries in here are completely shot. I tried to revive one over the winter and there's absolutely nothing left for them. One of them is visibly cracked down the side. 2 of them are split, yep, at the cap. Yep, so we're not even gonna play with those. But I need to find where my positive terminal is. Luckily, I've got my ladder here from the pickup, so that's nice. Okay, well, as luck would have it, I found it as soon as I turned off the camera. It is hiding in this nicely wrapped wire loom, big fat red cord. So I'm going to take one of these vice grippy things and do dumb things and clamp it on. Why? Because I don't know any better. There's my ground. Some days I'm not sure why I do automotive stuff, because I don't like batteries, I don't like voltage. I don't like things that can blow up in my face. Okay, you're there. Now what happens if I touch the ground with the battery? Abso-smurfly nothing, for better or worse. So I'm going to clamp him down. Okay, those are both there. I don't know that anything is going to happen. Let me step inside the camper quick and see if I see anything come to life. I don't see anything on fire yet, so that's positive. Huh. Battery disconnect turned on, so that's positive. Do I have any of my interior lights? That's a question. I do. I do have interior lights, that's positive. Now, I can see you, I'm not sure if you can see me, but I'm going to bump the switch for the slide, see if anything happens. Absolutely nothing happens trying to bump the slide, so that's going to be fun. The other thing up here is I have a generator start. Does anything happen here? Oh, there. Okay, that turns over, so that's kind of a positive. So it turns over. Here should be our big LP thing. We have an out, an out. No, I have no real confidence this is going to start. But let's tuck up here, and I probably should do this outside. So I'm not going to do this too long. Unless it fires right off, I'm not going to bother with it out in here. Nope. We're going to quit while we're ahead here. Let me turn the LP back off. Now I will say, there's a nice little disconnect button down here for the battery. That is on. So we've got an up for on or use and then off for storage. So that is nice that seems to work, because if I go up here again, the generator shouldn't start. Yep. I like seeing that the disconnect for the system actually does work. So that gives me hope that a lot of this stuff is probably just going to be dirty contacts and switches and stuff to clean and work our way through. But I think the generator is going to be, find a buddy to help me. Mike, if you're watching, I have beer and pizza and loud music we can listen to. But I think that's going to be a two-person job to tackle, try and figure out if we can purge, if there's air in the system, if the solenoid isn't kicking on. I just can't be in both places at the same time to listen, check voltages, yada, yada, yada. And the same for the slide. I am still looking for diagrams for this thing, and it is a complete enigma. I can't find any information on this specific model, any of the wiring diagrams. I find newer models, I find the gasoline engine, the V10 frame. That is not the same from what I'm seeing based on that information. So again, if you know where a guy can find the information for this diesel pusher model, the 3610 I believe it is, please let me know. Otherwise, I think I'm going to wrap this one up. We did have a big win in my mind by making sure that the slide out works manually, so I can go ahead and put that back. We know the generator turns over. I'm going to check the oil. I don't think it's an issue of the oil being low, but most likely that solenoid, the valve that'll open and close to allow the LP into the regulator, into the engine, and allow it to start. I'm guessing that's where I want to be looking at, but I need to move this thing back about 10 feet from where it's at now, so I've got better access up in the front. But it was nice to see hooking it up to house batteries. Things do start to come alive inside, which is pretty great for, like I said, 10 years sitting. Well, now almost 12 years since it's been running reliably. So for now, we're going to make some notes and get working on that, figuring out where I can get some of the information I need to track down the wiring for that generator, and look up good old ChatGPT if that's got any suggestions on why it's not firing up, and go from there. So until the next video on the motorhome, have fun doing whatever it is you're doing. And this little gray thing in the corner, we're going to come back and work on getting that engine bay painted up real soon. Thanks for watching, and if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button below, and we'll see you real soon. Bye-bye.